Mama, you were living when the Titanic went down, the ship? The ship. Were you living
The
when
Titanic?
Yeah.
The Titanic went down in what, 19 what? Well, I was born in 1912.
Right.
5 months after the thing went down. Because it went down 580, where was it went down?
Hey, God
But
bless you. How you doing?
I was born
All right. Yes, indeed.
I was born 5 months after the
The Titanic
Titanic.
went down? Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay. So you had to pick cotton too? Did you have to pick
No,
cotton?
baby, I'm born right here in Savannah.
Oh, okay.
And I raised right here in Savannah.
Oh,
My mother born in Savannah.
oh,
She was raised in Savannah.
oh,
My grandmother came from Hilton Head, South Carolina.
okay.
Uh-huh.
So there wasn't no slaves in Savannah.
There
wasn't no slaves in Savannah.
was no please.
Slaves. Were there slaves in Savannah?
Everyone know what?
Slaves.
You remember you told me about the lady on State Street had a slave place? You know this lady was teaching down there on State Street.
That
Had
was after
slaves.
slavery when my grandmother told me, taught me about that.
Oh.
My grandmother said it was a black lady got away out of slave. She opened up a school because in slavery time they didn't allow the people to go to school.
Right.
We know that.
They had them enslaved.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, but how about that place you said the lady right here in Savannah had something she was doing, teaching somebody.
That's
something.
right.
Well, what street that was in Savannah?
That was in Bay Lane.
Bay Lane.
The bay is right there.
Yeah, Bay Lane.
And the next coming from the bay, you come to the lane.
And what she was doing?
What she was doing,
Teaching. She was slavery. She was enslaved.
she was enslaved, and that's why she opened up a place for her other partners to have to go to school when she got free. That's
You don't
right.
remember her name though.
No, I sure don't. But I remember. I remember the very. I could go to the house right now if it was there, but it's not there. I done been by there. I don't know how many times just to see how it looked. It was right there in the back of the best laundry. If we had a laundry, we called it the best laundry, and it was on Bay Street. And this house, that's right. And then the lane in the back is where she had the school. Now you know I know what I'm talking about.
But the best laundry was on Bay Street.
All right. Things I know I could write a book.
Oh yeah, man. You should have been started wrote a book.
I did start. We did start. A friend of mine, Rosalie Brown, we started to write a book some years back here, and we never did get to it. And finally, she got sick and she died. So I just didn't bother anymore.
Yeah, that should have been about
See,
a lot of history.
it's history. I have history.
Yeah, you do, mother.
There's something else she knows.
Ooh, me, I have history. I don't worry
Well, who
about it.
started Social Security?
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, he had that, what you call it?
It wasn't nothing but this place go around, they give you food like the welfare doing. Yeah, every little place you go, you get your rice, you
Yeah,
get
my
your.
mama told me about Hoover days too.
Well, them was Hoover days.
Yeah, she
When
told
we
me
had
about
to,
Hoover days.
when my grandmama them had to go around to boys club, they've been giving me food. To this place, they've been giving me food. To that place, they've been giving us food. Wasn't giving us no check.
No, because I know mama said.
And y'all used some kind of stamps too back then, didn't you?
Some kind of what?
Didn't y'all have some kind of stamps they gave y'all to use to buy clothes or food or something with?
No, we used the stamp to get our shoes
Oh, you used to stamps.
and things like that.
And remember the screen? You used to go to the screen and get shoes on down there on Congress Street. They used to have a place called the screen. If you go down there and buy shoes, like you
Yeah.
do the shoes over,
Oh, okay.
and you go down there and you could buy a pair of shoes off the screen. Because you go buy street shoes look brand new when you get it. You know how Mr. Hall used to do shoes?
Yeah,
Mr. Hall used to
they
make the shoe over.
they had them out in the
Yeah.
hang up
Hang
by the
hang up.
stove.
Yeah, because I remember I used to go down there all
Had
the
them
time.
on the string.
That's
Them
grandma.
boys used to go by there and pull the
Grandma's
shoes down and go about their business.
Running. Yeah, you call it the screen, the shoe. I remember that when that's called.
And then how long? And how about going to school? How many miles? How long you
I
had to
I
walk
walk
to go to school?
7 blocks a day going and 7 blocks coming back.
You had to walk back there.
And
Cause
you
I
went-
had I had to walk from Beer Lane to Gordon Street where the Catholic school is. Cause I never had been to public school. I went to Catholic school all my days. And I go in the morning time. I walk 7 blocks from Beer Lane on down to Gordon Street.
So you was a nun? Were you a nun?
Huh?
Were you a nun?
At night.
A nun.
No, she
No, I wasn't no nun, but I was
Teach
just
at school.
my grandmother put me in Catholic school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was glad she did, cause East Broad was so rowdy, and I didn't want to be in all that old mess.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like I am today.
How did you dress when you went to school? What kind of
Dress-
clothing?
The little common dresses like any little
So
girl
you
would
said y'all
dress.
had to wear some long drawers thing and some
Yes,
string up
what you call them
boots?
thing they wear now? And the stocking, got to wear that and pull that down in your stocking, and then pull the stocking over it. See,
Thick like
and when I go in the mornings, I get to a certain block going down the street. I roll them thing up and roll them way up here and pull my stocking back up. No. But believe me, when I get ready to go home and school out, I better put them back down in that stocking.
What about did Martin Luther King ever make it to Savannah?
Not
Do any
then.
of them?
Not then.
Okay, so he never made it to do any rallies here. Did y'all do any type of rallies here during that time?
No, baby.
Didn't do any kind of
You
rallies?
couldn't do it. You know how it was with us.
Yeah, because I know that the segregation was big, and I know downtown that there was a lot of places that was segregated.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
but
is.
Mama could tell you how she used to went back in the back of the store to get our Easter stuff and stuff. Tell you how I used to do
Yeah.
that.
The
allow you to go.
only segregation during Martin Luther King time.
Yeah,
I always did used to put up the Easter clothes and things early in the year. And then time was coming on now for Easter, and I wanted to get them out. And you know, I went up there on Broad Street, it was pennies where I had these things. And I went to get the Easter things, and they had me bar off. I couldn't get in there.
What year? You remember what year this was?
No, I guess that was around the segregation time, and
Yeah,
Martin Luther King was
50s,
here.
About the 50s, I would say.
Huh?
About the 50s. Because I remember
Oh, no,
when
it
you
ain't
had to go back there in the back to pick
I
they
went
won't
in
let
the
you
back
go
of
in
the store. He told me to go to the back,
back and
and you
hand her
can
her
get
stuff.
your
Uh-huh.
packages. So I had to go to the back in the lane.
In the lane to get in there something.
yeah, you gotta go to the back though. You gotta go
But
to
ain't
the
one
back.
thing I can tell you. During the time I come along, bread was 5 cents a loaf.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, man.
How much?
Get a whole ham for 29 cents.
You get a whole sack of rice for $5 or $6.
Yeah.
Maybe cheaper than that. My grandpa used to buy the rice by the sack.
Yeah, 100-pound sack, 50-pound sack.
That's right.
Yeah, 'cause I remember my grandma them.
And that's the reason my grandparents used to buy it.
Yeah, 'cause Dad, you know, Green and Daddy them was working up there to the store
Uh-huh.
up there on Cobb. You remember that grocery
Now
store?
when coming down and having babies, how did y'all go to doctors for medical care?
Carry on to the doctor?
No, when you was pregnant.
No,
with your
no,
children.
we didn't. We had midwives, and we still have some midwives.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But you had some of your children in the hospital. You had the rest of us home.
Yeah, 11 of
And you
them.
was
I
on a
had four,
table.
but
They
four of them
used
in
a
there.
table you had to lay on to give birth, right?
No.
You told Bernice
I ain't
said
at no
that.
table.
Oh, well,
You kneel
you kneel
on your knees
to have
to your baby.
a baby.
To have a baby.
What?
You know I saw. You know what I saw that
What?
in?
That
Mary,
was on TV.
you know what I saw that in? I saw that in the story.
Did they give you some pain medicine? Did you get pain
There's the
medicine?
kind what they use, yeah.
What was that? A shot?
They give you medicine.
What kind was it? Was
Now, I
herb?
don't know it's the kind of medicine that they use. When
Was
you
it a
bring-
needle or something
No,
you take
ain't
that
been nothing
mouth?
but these old needles around here.
They give you something to bring them pain on too. I don't know what it was.
Did it
Yes,
hurt?
it did.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, I wouldn't say you didn't have pains. Yeah, you had pains. I got a son right now, born over in Levy. He, that's the way he was born. I didn't have to get on no table. I didn't have to get on nothing. Right to the side of the bed. Joseph's wife, Martha. She turned to me. She said, and then she sent for this midwife. This lady came.
Now, how do y'all do with y'all hair? What did you do with your hair when you was coming up young? How did you wear your hair?
How with my hair?
Yeah, how did y'all straight? Did y'all y'all had any texturizer to put in your hair, anything like that?
I never had a hairdresser in my head in my life.
Since you was coming up as a teenager?
Never did.
Well, how did you do with your hair?
My grandmother would know what to do. She would grease my hair good and fix it and plait it down and join and plait. And it looked just as good as the rest of them. You didn't have, I ain't never been to no hairdresser. And nobody never had to put no hot comb or nothing in my hair. My hair stayed just like it was. And when she don't join plait it, she wrap it. And wrapping is getting the thread and wrap your hair from plait by plait.
That's the truth. That's the truth. I have
See here? Now you see this big plait here? She'll get that thread and she'll wrap that thread round and round. That's right.
Put your hat back on.
And for all that old mess they got there now, all that old lipstick, I never used lipstick or nothing
But
on
did
me.
they have lipstick back there in your time?
Yeah, things are examine it.
Well, like what?
Something red. Don't care what it was. I didn't know what it was because I didn't use it.
But was it a tube or what? You put it on your lips?
I guess so. The ones that use it, they might know what in there, but I didn't because I didn't use it.
Perfume?
I didn't have no right to use it.
How about
One
perfume?
kind of perfume, and you go on West Broad and Bryan, the pharmacy was there. Yeah, but that was an old
Duke Pharmacy? Was it
Old pharmacy.
Duke or Savannah?
Dukes.
Ma, what about the segregation? If you was to talking to some young people that don't know nothing about segregation,
Yeah.
can you tell them how bad it was, or what was some of the
yeah,
things
I
y'all
sure
had to
can,
deal with,
son. I sure can.
as it relates to maybe going into a building? Could you go in the front? Did you have to go in the back?
Oh, you had
What-
to go in the back in many of them. We couldn't use no front.
No front doors. Wow. And what were some of the stores? You remember some of the store names that you had to go through the back here in
The
Savannah?
back,
Some of the big stores maybe?
it's like Leopold Adler. That was a big clothing store. And there was about 2 or 3 of those stores.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't go into the front.
Leeds store, Leed.
What about Woolworth? Wasn't Woolworth down
Oh,
there?
all of them, you could go in them.
You
There
could go
was
in there?
5 and 10 stores.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
couldn't eat in there. You couldn't sit in the eating there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
couldn't sit to the counter.
You couldn't sit to the counter in some of those eating places. You couldn't
Right.
sit to the counter. Black people couldn't sit to the counter. You couldn't even go in some of them. During Martin Luther King, we couldn't go in some of the eating places.
Right. I saw a video about something local here about how some of the young people did a sit-in at
Yeah.
one of the at one of the places downtown. I think it was Chris or McCory maybe.
Chorus, both of them. Both of them.
Yeah.
They had sit-ins.
Yeah, 'cause they had,
Yeah, so y'all were around during that
we,
time.
yeah.
And Billy, I was just telling Mary and Deacon Al, Billy, Deacon Al, and those West boys, those Coswell boys, and those people out of West Atlanta, Ben Clark, his brother, all that's what them boys did. That's how that stuff started. With
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah,
Clark.
I've got
Jose Williams and all
Some
of
Wow.
them
them.
gonna
And
take the
even,
video with them.
even the girls was down there. Half of them, they pull them and go to jail.
And the dogs were on us and everything.
Oh, yeah, 'cause-
Dogs were on us down there on Overthought.
People